We see channels as four big buckets. We think there's a self-serve channel, a financial advisor channel, an institutional channel, and an international channel. Now, our international friends don't want to be thought of as a channel, but if you're a product company or a distribution company, those are the four places you can choose to participate. And we need a way to count data, so that's how we count data. For many of you, whether you know it or not, the reason you all write about the financial advisor channel is A, it's the largest, and B, it's the fastest growing. Now, that doesn't mean the other channels are unimportant, but for the last 6, 8, 9, 10 years, advisor channel has been the fastest growing, and hence it's drawing the attention. The institutional channel used to be the largest. The advisor channel has passed it. But we spend so much time dissecting wirehouses versus banks versus independent reps versus but that's all in the advisor channel to us, right? You do have to step back at some point and say, yeah, but maybe the advisor channel's not doing well. I don't know. That's not my point. But make sure you understand the totality of the four channels. The self-serve channel is alive and well. People don't like to write about it a lot or talk about it a lot, but it's doing quite well. The institutional channel is a dog, and the international channel is booming. So yeah, they're in four different places. Within the advisor channel, having said that, within the advisor channel, we see the world this way. We see the banks, if you go back to, I don't know, maybe early 70s, the data is pretty straightforward. Banks control high net worth people, and insurance companies control pension plans, right? So if you look at data from 1970, 1975, if you're a pension plan in America, your money's in some insurance company, and they're managing fixed income for you. That's just how it is. And in the early 70s, if you're a high net worth family, your money's at some bank in their trust department, in a trust account specifically. And along came the 80s, and most people can process this thinking, but along came the 80s, and it's the age of the Merrill Lynch CMA. And the wirehouses took enormous share from the banks. I would say it was the bank's business to lose the high net worth market, and they lost it. And the wirehouses took it from them, led by Merrill Lynch, and everyone else followed on the exact same thing. And if you weren't around at the time, it was, I forgot, it was this guy, Lonnie Steffens, ran the Merrill private client business, and he had some limerick for it, but it was basically the message of which was, go get the money out of the banks. I don't even care if you move it in here and put it in a money fund, just get it in here, and we'll figure out how to get in a stock or bond later. But go asset, the term became asset gathering later, and that was kind of the mid 80s. And for a decade, the wirehouses just clobbered the banks, clobbered them. Now speed up 10 years, and in the late 90s, if you haven't paid attention, the wirehouses have stopped growing. So you can go back a solid 10 years now, and you can't find much evidence that the wirehouses are growing anymore. Their numbers of reps are down over the last 4 or 5 years. I think if you go back 4 years, they're down 14% in number of reps. Clearly the number of wirehouses is just down to 4 firms now. But it just seems like stagnation in the wirehouse channel. Their percentage growth has been leading everyone. I'm sorry, let me correct that. Their dollar growth has been leading every other channel for a very long time, but it's not anymore. The RIAs alone are leading them in dollars, and the discount brokers are even leading them in dollars. So unlike the naive view of the world, we don't see a Schwab or a TD Ameritrade as one company. We unbundle it into 2 or 3 companies and look at their businesses for what they are. And if you add up just the RIA market, it's the fastest growing channel over the last 3 or 4 years in dollars, which is an amazing fact. It's about 20% of the size of the wirehouse channel, but it's outgrowing it in dollars, not just percentage terms. And the discount brokers, the retail business, the discount brokers are also outgrowing the wirehouses. And that's shocking, So these, 90,000 salesmen at the 4 wirehouses who should be clobbering everyone are not. And that's, truly amazing. Now, part of that's the breakaway broker phenomena, because some of that's trickling out. Part of that's some client dissension, because they're trickling out. And part of it's they just got an old school model that bluntly unimpresses me wholly, And their model seems to be bribe brokers to move from one firm to the next, and then bribe them to stay at your firm. And I don't see that as a sustainable business model, and that's the business model for many years now. So I'm not a fan. I believe the banks lost it to the wirehouses, and I believe the wirehouses are now losing it right now to the independents and to the discount brokers, and I think no one's paying enough attention to that. So.